Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. I am MongoSlade. Today we're going to talk about Masha Slamovich and the domestic abuse allegations, which there's enough evidence here to suggest that she is at least emotionally abusive and manipulative. There's pictures of the young man with some scratches on his neck and some scratches on his wrist. So she might have caused those as well, but the guy is a deathmatch wrestler, so there's always that. We don't know. But let's get the whole story out here. Masha Slamovich was on the PWI top 500. She was one of the highest rated women, maybe even the highest rated woman, at number 25. From there, somebody, it wasn't Akira, the boyfriend in this situation, who was a deathmatch wrestler. He's wrestled for GCW and some other places that I've seen him. And it wasn't him, but it was probably somebody that they know who had all of these text messages and stuff from the Discord server and all this 114 different files in a Dropbox. And they outed Masha Slamovich as being an abuser who was abusive to her boyfriend. Other people have tried to say she was a homophobe. I'm not going to try. It's impossible to go through all of this stuff. But some of it is so damn bad that it has to be noted. All right. This whole thing had blown up before Akira really responded on Twitter. We'll get to his response near the end. As of right now, let's go to, I believe this is something he may have posted on the Discord or maybe Twitter, where he says, anything I asked of them, they asked me to change. As a person, all I did was tell Anne there were healthier ways of dealing with stress than throwing her expensive glasses. And now she's saying I'm telling her what to do and breaking up with me. And now goes off saying my wrestling has no psychology. She hates tagging with me and saying all this to Wraith. Now, Wraith is apparently a roommate of Akira and or a friend, something or other. This came up later as well. Now, the texts are not in order because some of the texts are dated from January of 2023, where they're arguing, and they're still arguing 4 months later, and they're still arguing 5 months after that. And then there's other text messages allegedly from both parties. But I'm going to hit some of the highlights here. So let's start with the abuse allegations, the physical abuse allegations, because this is the most important. This is the most pertinent. Now, apparently, Masha Slamovich says, quote, "You can keep both dogs. They're in your name, right?" Akira responds, "You hit me. You're wrong." She responded, "You cursed at me. That's why you got hit." He then responds again, "Cool to see you claim intelligence and can't see metaphor. You hit me. You are wrong." He says, I'm sorry that I said anything. I just don't want to stress you out further, and it didn't help. Nothing I say is going to cause you to change, and I don't want to fight it. I'll just let you destroy whatever you want if you have it. Or I'll let you have it if you want, whatever. She continues saying, "Great, maybe one day you'll learn to read the room, or at minimum, me. That was a time for you to shut up, or say something nice and comforting. But no, you try to tell me what the F to do. It's my shit and my life. You don't understand me. You have no idea who I am, or how to help or comfort me. I'm embarrassed to tag with you. It's very frustrating that when I'm already so clearly worked up and overwhelmed and overstimulated all day and upset over a bad match and being inconsiderate, but whatever, who cares about that? You still manage to make it worse for me and make me lose it when I'm trying to just keep it together till I go to sleep. You're supposed to be the one helping me, and all you do lately is make things worse, Alex." He then continues, he responds, "I just didn't want you to destroy the glasses that you paid a lot of money for and need in day-to-day life, Anne. I'm sorry." She says, I'm tired of this. This isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what we used to be. And it's not going to go back to how it was. And it's not going to get any better. Only worse. I've been down this road before. All you do is be sorry. You're never able to do the right thing in the moment. He responded, I didn't know what I signed up to watch someone destroy things out of anger, but I'm still here. She said, if it's not directed at you, why do you care? He says, because I care about you. She says, I very clearly tried to not take it out on you, but you just had to keep pushing. He says, I don't care about me. And so she responded, and then instead of backing off, you started provoking me. And then he says, and if you broke those, you'd have been more upset later and have to spend more money. And she responded, and guess what? I already threw them. So this is in reference to some expensive glasses that Masha apparently had purchased. But then she got frustrated and started throwing her glasses around. Apparently he tried to stop this, and this is what happened. She apparently hit him, and the text message exchange followed. The bottom line of all of this, as we transition into the next part of their text exchange, she has no respect for him. She doesn't respect him as a wrestler. She doesn't respect him as a man. And that is at the core core of her contempt for him. It's not that she's a bad girlfriend. It's not just that she's a bitch or that she's abusive. She has open scorn and contempt for this man. She is an op, okay? It's that simple. This woman is an op, and he was clinging onto this op. That's how toxic and terrible this thing is. Listen to this text exchange. It doesn't have a date on here, but it says, this is from Masha. I've got a problem because I want to be a power couple and not strong ass Masha and twink Akira. So he sends her a couple of pictures of him bleeding all over the place, probably in Japan, and a picture of him smiling. And he says, this is me. Maybe stop emasculating and being rude and be loving in front of people, and people would believe it. Fans love me. Fans respect me. My coworkers respect me. I'm not even a twink, so try again. I was a twink when we started dating, but I'm not going to be 240 pounds of muscle. She says, I'm shocked because I thought I'd date someone with status. Also believe you'll get there, but you're femme as fuck and I'm not gay. He responds, once again, my love doesn't come with an asterisk. I get tagged in every Kelly thing you both do. Pause. This is about Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich. They've been doing their storyline where they have chained to each other, and it's kind of homoerotic and everything. And he says, it's whatever. I laugh, and if people ask if you're actually gay, I say no. I support you no matter what. So Masha responds, and it's hard when you're a strong woman and eat everyone, including you, up. Great. Me and Kelly stays in the ring, and everyone knows it's a work. So she continues by saying, had you done something and beat his ass and cut the match short, it would be different. Akira responds, and I didn't know. Sorry, it's called experience. Sorry if you're embarrassed, then that's on you. She responded, it's called think and act in the moment. I thought you'd know or instinct would kick in. He responded, I'm not going to feel guilt for something from 2 years ago. She says, yeah, I am embarrassed, and I'm waiting for the day you become a star, and I won't be. And he responded, I'm so disappointed in you and the fact that you seem to be embarrassed to be dating a wrestler. She responded, I'm embarrassed to date a not famous of successful wrestler. Jesus, I'm sorry. Listen to what she's saying. She's embarrassed to be dating a bum. That's what she's saying. You're a bum, and I shouldn't be dating you. Throughout this entire 114 image document, she dumped him probably in half of them. She keeps telling him to fuck off. She keeps telling this guy to go away. and he doesn't leave. She dumped this guy numerous times throughout 2023. She dumped him at least half a dozen times through texts, on Twitter, all over the place. She's been trying to get rid of this guy, but he won't leave. So because he won't leave, she is being incredibly abusive. So she basically called him a twink already and said she's upset that he's not successful and he's not famous. So then she decides to give him some career advice. She says happiness is in the grind. This is what Masha says to Akira. Akira says, you want me to be fucking miserable like I was when I worked that job. No, Anne. So then she says, I want to surround myself with people who enjoy it. And then he says, nobody fucking likes the grind of day-to-day living. I like my grind that I'm doing, of doing things that I want and making money that way. Sorry, and here I am making more money, and you still have something to complain about. So he continues by saying, I want to enjoy my life. I don't want a full-time job. I don't have to. I did it and worked shit jobs and still didn't make enough for you. So then she responded, at the end of the day, the issues all boil down to one thing. I don't respect you enough because you don't have the mindset to grind like the folks do in this city. She says, I don't respect you enough because you don't have the mindset to grind like folks do in this city. He responds, I am grinding. You just don't respect the things I'm grinding for. And she says, it's fine that you want to live that way. It's also fine that you're meant to be with someone who is okay with it. And then he says, you think the only way to grind is to be unhappy. Okay. She said, then he continues, you make more than I make at the moment, but you don't care. I'm not making a 6-figure contract yet. She responds, neither am I. He responds, no shit. And then she says, I hustle. And people who have less bookings than you should have a real job too. And he says, why I don't ask you for much? No, because I was given a chance to focus on the things I want to do. Then she responds to him saying, which you really don't want to have, which is a full-time job. You can do both. You can do it all. This is insane, right? She's questioning his work ethic. Okay. In the text messages, exchanges, and other ones, she's asking for things and he's upset and he's venting to friends about how she constantly asks him for money and she's constantly spending money. Just basically relationship stuff, they're having real issues. She says, and later, to continue the disrespect, she says, then I just have sex because I'm playing my part. Like, cool, whatever. This is a chore. Do you want that to keep happening? He responds, oh, how lovely. It's always a chore to you, it seems. And she responds, yes, it has been half the time. It hurts, and I just want it to be over. But I do it for you. And he responds, the one chore you do versus all the ones you expect me to do are shocked. And when I have my own things I need to be done, they're texting. I'm trying to make this make sense. She says, sex doesn't even feel good to me anymore. And it's snippets of the conversation, so it skips ahead. And she says, oh my God, I don't want to have to communicate. I want you to be like the men in the movies who think on their own and make a surprise or a nice gesture or the right manly thing. That's what she said. I want you to be like the men in the movies. She's got Disney princess syndrome. Masha Slamovich's character is pretty badass when you look at her on wrestling, and you could tell that's just a character. In real life, this young lady has princess syndrome. She's expecting a man to come in there and sweep her off her feet. And instead, she got what she refers to as essentially an indecisive twink who she has to spell everything out for. At one point, she bitches at him because he didn't bring her any weed. I'm going to skip that part. because we're still talking about her expectations. And he says, quote, I don't know what you think a relationship is, but this is not it. Maybe research a healthy relationship for once. She responds, well, dear, if you don't want to add up to my expectations, I guarantee someone else will. A non-wrestler. Can you imagine dealing with this? Like I said, this woman is an op. This woman is your enemy. She is your enemy. To further the point that Masha Slamovich is this man's enemy, not his girlfriend, she is literally a demon that is following this man around, living in his house and eating his food and using money from his Lyft account, apparently. He got a Ribera jacket. Now, for those of you who don't know much about it, it's kind of a wrestling tradition that you wrestle in Japan, you eat this restaurant, and they give you a Ribera jacket. You've probably seen wrestlers with Ribera jackets all the time. Well, apparently Akira has a Ribera jacket and Masha does not have one. And she absolutely lost her mind over him getting a Ribera jacket. She literally says, I should not have seen that jacket in person. You don't fucking deserve it. And you don't deserve me. Those are her exact words. I'm telling you, this woman hates this man. This is not just a matter of she's an abusive girlfriend. This is shacking up with somebody who hates your guts. She's 2 steps from slicing his throat in his sleep. She continues about this damn jacket. Good to know you couldn't even take a jacket off to make your girlfriend feel better. If material possessions don't mean much to you, you could have put it in your bag. He says, I haven't worn it since Destiny, which I'm guessing is an event. And she responded, you shouldn't have worn it ever around me. Ever. I should never have seen it. And he responds, I'm very happy. I don't base my life and emotional well-being on material possessions. She says, good, so enjoy your life without me. I don't want to be in it. I'll do my own thing because I'm happy doing it alone with my crew. And he says, good to know that's how you feel. This is insane. Okay? This is crazy. And she continues about this damn jacket. I don't know why you didn't think ahead to simply put it away from me, knowing how much it hurts. I told you over text, and you still rock it at home like it's okay. Do you not see the issue here? Do you not see how much it makes me hate you? Business owes me nothing, but I know for a fact I deserved it more than you. This is an op. This is your enemy. Okay? This woman does not like you. She's deeply jealous of you. First, she said you was broke while spending your money, said that you can't fuck. Now you go and get a nice little Ribera jacket, you know, wrestling tradition and everything. And because she called you a twink wrestler and you were never going to be famous and you're not worth anything anyway. So you follow in tradition of wrestlers like Warrior Animal and Hawk and so many others who got Ribera jackets, and she is fuming at you about this. I can't believe this. This is astounding. I have never seen anything like this before in my life. He is trapped in a prison. This man is in hell. To continue being in hell, she admits at some point that she's kind of jealous of him. So this is from a different, or maybe a later part of the conversation, where she says, I don't really care what you think, because nothing I say will make you understand. You know, when I was in Japan, I enjoyed all of my success alone because I have nobody to share it with. He responds, you have an inferiority complex, and it's sad. And she responded, maybe because I don't want to hear about all this shit that I dreamt of doing that you're doing first. And you keep rubbing it in my face. Don't you have friends who you can share all of this with? Or am I the only person you have? Can you believe this? Bro, I wasn't going to go into the whole weed thing, but it's so ridiculous that I have to. I just got to. Masha Slamovich says, did you bring weed? Please say you did. I specifically asked you. And then she put an asterisk, excuse as to why you didn't, I'm sure, coming up next. And he responded, if shit sure ain't sugar, he responded, no, I got home and then had to come get you. We can swing by and grab if needed. Thank you for the sarcasm. She responds, thank you for not doing something that takes 10 seconds to do. All I ask is for you to grab one single thing. Jesus Christ, Akira, you just know how to ruin an airport pickup every time. And no, we can't swing by and grab some because I have to go. And she continues, you couldn't go inside for 2 seconds. Look, please, Akira, I already know you can make it work. Now I'm pissed off because I have to be there for an hour and a half in the car unhappy. Now I'm pissed off because I won't be home till fucking 9 p.m. and I don't know where I'm going to get any. We're done for hood. Good. Pack your shit and leave, or I will when I'm home. I swear I'm dead ass. She dumped him because he forgot to get her some weed. Yo, this woman, my God, bro. Oh, he's living in hell. This poor man. Jesus Christ, bro. This poor little fella. So she continues, because this thing, that wasn't it. That wasn't enough. She says, anyways, you don't understand me. You don't hear me. We're on separate planets. We're over, Alex. I'm going to run now, but truly I am done. This is a nail in the coffin. You didn't keep it in your head. You didn't hear me say something about it. He says, that's why I picked up the shit you threw on the floor, picking up the message you made. Because they're talking about, they're jumping back and forth. It's about the weed. It's about making a mess. It's all kinds of stuff. And she says, just let me go. I'm tired. If you love them, set them free. And he says, why do you fucking hate me when everything I do is for you? And she says, you're clearly not ever going to be what I want from you, and that's okay. Just let me go. I'm tired. Because I don't want to fight daily and I try to be nice. It's not better. Look at the house today. I could have come down to it being clean in the kitchen and no stain on the floor, and it takes 1 minute to clean. He says, you show you don't care. This is absolutely insane. This is insane. They're arguing about who didn't clean the kitchen. Like, this is ridiculous stuff. But again, like I said, she dumps him anytime he does anything wrong. She's ready to just get rid of this guy, okay? She continues, same thing, they're still arguing. You're not sorry that our relationship is sinking. We're not going to marry, Alex. We're probably going to move apart in June. And he says, I'm the only one apologizing ever. You could realize the things you do and actually fix them, including lashing out, but you won't. And she responds, you lost the one thing you say you loved. And that's so manipulative. Oh, God damn. This guy's living in hell, man. This is sad. That's so manipulative. My Lord have mercy. Then he says, I'm the only one who ever expresses actual emotion. She says, because I can't go back. Just accept that this is ending. And he responded, you always say you faked saying you loved me. I'm the one who continues despite it. No, but you try to change too. And she says, no, Alex. He says, you try to change too. She said, no. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You can't be serious. You're like, you have to change too. Meet me halfway. And she's like, no. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to meet you halfway. Fuck you and your Ribera jacket. This is crazy to me, bro. All right, let's get this thing. Let's get to near the end of this when I actually felt bad for him. Because at first I thought this was pretty ridiculous. I was like, look, man, this is some ridiculous shit. This is a story worth talking about. She absolutely deserves to be canceled. But I didn't really feel a whole lot of sympathy for the guy, because if you let people treat you like this, you kind of earned it. But when he made this comment, I legitimately felt bad for him. He said, and this I believe was on Discord, she says she has an apartment. I don't know. I'm tired. Living isn't fun. She makes it not fun. She makes living not fun. Bro, you living with the ops. This woman exists to make your life a living hell. A living hell. That comment about how she makes life not worth living was in October of 2023. October of 2023. In January of 2023, he says, I'm alone. She knows I have fear of abandonment. She doesn't care. It's all a weapon. I'm here trying to work a crazy job, deal with her, clean, as I have to clean up Wraith and her and my stuff. Otherwise, I get yelled at regarding it. Like leaving pantry doors open. I close them constantly. Now Wraith still leaves them open. Leaves the kitchen a mess. I'm so fucking tired. She acts like my job is fucking easy because I'm able to play games sometimes now that I'm in the busy season. She thinks I can just clean. Like it's no problem. And do whatever she wants. I'm broken. This poor guy, man. She abused this man. She beat him up, for starters. I mean, that's bad enough. But the amount of emotional abuse that this guy is dealing with is absolutely ungodly. It is terrible. It's terrible. Okay. Whew. That's just from the drop kit, the drop box. All right. When Akira saw all of this stuff happening on social media, which would be back here in good old September 23rd, 2025, he made the following statement. He says, quote, I woke up to this and people asking me if I was okay. Kind of want to throw up. Kind of want to go away forever. My friend held back for months because I asked her to. I would have never said anything. I still really don't want to. I didn't want to lash out in anger because I was angry, suicidal, and depressive since the end of January. I'm not alive, though, if she didn't take my calls every day while caring for her sick grandfather. I'm not alive if my roommate Wraith didn't laugh with me at stupid videos daily. I'm not alive if Dale Patricks and Simon Gotch weren't there for me. I gave a lot with little in return. I had a lot of growing up to do, and despite my progression, I was always told I was never doing enough. The things I liked and did were stupid and waste of time. Things I told about my thoughts on my gender and the confusion I was feeling was turned on me. I was lied to about finances and spent more than I should have because I thought we were struggling together. I almost killed myself 3 times as the life I tried to build with someone was torn apart and I became nothing to that person. It was like a withdrawal. Every time I went to the hospital, that person I put on a pedestal was gone. I didn't matter. I would have never said anything. I only came out with my prior experiences of sexual abuse because I was spiraling alone in Japan. I tried my best, but my best was never good enough, and all my accomplishments and money were for nothing but tools for someone else. My things said in confidence turned and used against me. I can't get that time back. I can't get that money back. I can't get the last 4 years of my life back. I was trying to my best to come back and be with my family and friends and dog and try to get signed. I dreamt of doing things. Maybe it won't happen now. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. Not anymore. I'm apathetic. I've moved on and there's still bitterness in my stomach. I don't let it guide me. I've grown up as a person and a wrestler. I've grown up mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm still figuring things out and have nothing to say to that person. I adored them. I still feel phantom pains in my heart every time I see a photo. They're a part of my life and history. I don't want to get to where I am now, a mature and thoughtful person with a healthy dose of CTE without those experiences I went through and the isolation I experienced in a foreign country. But it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. And then he continues by saying, I love wrestling. I love the life and people it brought into my life, even her, but it's not a drug for me. If that makes it impossible to hire me or anything, so be it. I'll move on because wrestling isn't everything to me, and I'm thankful it showed me the world and the man I have to be for myself. I'm just looking for my happy ending. I certainly hope this guy finds that happy ending that he was looking for, because this is tough. You know, just reading this got my blood pressure up. I can't imagine experiencing it. But at the same time, part of this is because he has kind of low self-worth. You can't get down this low. And he probably has all sorts of mental problems. You know, sounds like there's some depression there. And I really hope he pulls through, because this kind of stuff can be embarrassing, as well as, you know, he's a man who has been verbally abused and manipulated and all this sort of stuff by this woman. And male domestic violence is not treated the same as female domestic violence. And there's bound to be some people who are going to chuckle at how he was treated. A lot of people are going to make fun of him for having pink hair. You know, people are going to make fun of him for, you know, when they read these texts and they see that his girlfriend's calling him a bum and talking about how she doesn't really want to have sex with him. And it's funny on an initial read, but when you take all this stuff into account, you realize this guy was living in prison. This was a prison, an emotional prison that he couldn't get out of. That this woman kept theoretically kicking him out, saying she wants him to go. But there's also plenty of text messages where she's telling him, pick up the phone, or I want to go nuclear on you on Twitter or whatever. And she's threatening to ruin his life if he doesn't talk to her. The constant tugging back and forth. It's nonsense, bro. I hate that this man had to go through this. This has been an interesting year for female domestic violence in pro wrestling. In the last 2 years, there has been, you know, Nikki Bella. Down in Texas, there was Promise Braxton, who is one of the young ladies that is being mentored by Booker T. She had a girlfriend say that she was abusive. And now we got Masha Slamovich. You know, you're seeing it more and more in these female wrestlers. They're starting to come out that it's not just the men who are being abusive, it's the women too. And it seems like the women are going to get away with it. I can guarantee you this, if Masha Slamovich was male, by the time I sat down and started reading through all of these texts and everything, she would have lost every job. Every booking. She would have been pulled from everything. As of right now, however, she's under investigation from TNA. She's been working for TNA since 2019. She's been signed as a talent since 2021. They're going to be looking into an investigation into that. She was pulled from several indie shows. Of course, the first place to pull her was a wrestling company in Portland. Of course, the second was from San Francisco. So she's losing jobs left and right. She's a former world champion. She's currently a champion in GCW or something like that. But she was a TNA Women's World Champion too. So she was growing as a star. But this is absolutely... Even if we find out that she didn't cause the injuries to the young man that we see in the pictures, even if she didn't cause those injuries, just the hell that she put him through, just the verbal abuse, just the emotional manipulation, that's more than enough to keep people away from you. But she's been silent on this issue. Eventually she's going to have to make a comment, but she should make that comment through an attorney, because right now it ain't looking too good. It's looking very, very bad for Masha Slamovich. It's also a very bad look for TNA. TNA is having a pay-per-view, their Victory Road pay-per-view, and it's going to be airing on September the 26th, which is Friday, the Friday of this week. And she's booked to wrestle Ash by Elegance in one of the matches on that show. And she should be pulled from the show while they're investigating. Look, I am one of those people who say innocent until proven guilty. I am saying that she allegedly hit him. That's what most people are really focused on, is whether she actually physically attacked him. Yes, she might be a bitch and all that kind of stuff, but they really focusing on the physical attacking of him. And look, I think it's in TNA's best interest to pull Masha Slamovich from Victory Road. Maybe by the time you hear this, she'll already been pulled. Maybe they'll make a decision the day of, because they may tape something where she gets written out of the show and they replace her with somebody else. But it's smart business for them to really consider pulling her from Victory Road this weekend, because it's so soon after the allegations came out. Literally 3 days, right? Like literally 3 or 4 days after the allegations come out, she's got a pay-per-view match wrestling for the title. Come on, just pull her from that. They got some opportunity there to tape something and replace her. Just take it. Even if you reinstate her later, it's fine. It's a TNA Plus show. It's not like a huge pay-per-view event. Just give her a rematch on TV or something. There's got to be something you could do. But I think because it's so close to the event, you're probably better off just pulling her. Just to be fair. And just to be, to give the people a fair hearing of the allegations against her, to look into it. Because again, her boyfriend is a wrestler. It's very easy for you to go out there, wrestle, get scarred up and beat up, and then say, well, all of this came from me being abused. We don't know that. A bunch of pictures out of context. I don't know. A bunch of, text messages that are kind of one-sided that make her look mean. Yes, there's a whole lot of that stuff there. But it doesn't take away from the fact that she did say some of the things that are in these text messages, and that a lot of this stuff was done under her real name. So, and it is what it is, but she certainly should feel some kind of pressure, and so should TNA, to remove her from this match. It's just smart business. While you're building a relationship with WWE, remove her from this match this weekend, and if nothing comes out of it, then bring her back. It's that simple. She loses nothing. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you good folks later. Be blessed.
MagMongoSlade. Best house I ever drew, Daddy.